Good morning and welcome to Real Talk Reborn. I am your host, Reborn, and this is my co-host.
Hey, everybody. I am Mz DeeVa. You guys are familiar with me from the Mz DeeVa platform. Also here over in the Real Talk Reborn family. So thanks for having me by.
Welcome. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and chilling with us today. We've got a lot of things that we want to talk about. Some celebrity deaths that are hitting the nation pretty hard, and legendary people in the music field, and
this VP debate too. Wednesday.
The VP debate. Is Senator Kamala gonna get him? I hope she does.
I feel like Senator Kamala Harris is gonna make Pence get a little teardrop. I'm thinking one teardrop is going to happen for sure. Kavanaugh dropped a tear. She definitely doesn't hold back. So if he starts throwing daggers, he's going to end up playing.
Plexiglass for that ass.
Yes, I need her to show up with hazmat. The administration is spreading, and they are being tagged super spreaders by social media. So, the super spreaders, you need to show up. Senator Harris with hazmat.
It's amazing how I created that meme so long ago where I meshed, our Cheeto and Chief's face with the Outbreak Monkey. You remember that?
I know, yeah. You did put the orange agent with the Outbreak Monkey because he's the host. I cannot say that enough. How in the world did it spread? The super spreader, host in chief. Definitely.
So let me go ahead and say this real quick. Our condolences go out to the family of legendary singers, Mr. Johnny Nash and Eddie Van Halen. Wow, two powerful legendary singers whose music moved generations. And I was always down with Van Halen, and I Can See Clearly was, like Honey said, it was everybody's cleanup song. What I mean? Every Saturday,
Music definitely has. Is he? I Can See Clearly. That's not Van Halen, is it? No, that's
I Can See Clearly was Johnny Nash.
Oh, Johnny Nash. My bad. Yeah. Sorry, Johnny. Hey. Yeah. So I used to listen to the song, but one thing about the '80s is like, I don't know why, but there are a lot of songs in the 80s that we, babies, 80s babies, 70s, 80s babies are like, oh, he sang that? I'm not sure. Because we knew the songs, it definitely was a cleanup song. Yeah.
Being from your neck of the woods, I mean, a lot of songs were done by a lot of cover bands, Remakes. And you would hear them all the time. So sometimes, unless you actually did the research, you wouldn't know who actually sung a song because you was like, I heard that, but hold up,
Yeah, it's like that, especially when I'm always disappointed after watching Cadillac Records, and to just see how they use white artists for things that were black beginners and starters, because what was comfortable for the music industry back then was to have the white face, but the black voice was needed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of history, lots of gold. Speaking of music, can we just shout out the Valentine family?
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta's finest, I swear. Nothing greater than the GOAT that is Sick Flow himself.
Yes,
so shout out to everything that I see them doing in the music
What's good,
industry.
famo?
Yeah, they are doing some amazing things.
Yes,
so if you haven't listened to it, listen to What's Poppin' video that Sick Flow did put his version of What's Poppin' Up. So definitely go check that out. I loved it. And that's, also Black and I-47. So that whole crew of family, talented. I'm looking forward to seeing their journey over the years for sure.
Oh yeah, we love those guys, man. That's family right there. Man.
Now it's BP Debate Wednesday, and honestly, I know that I was over on a couple of platforms, saw a couple of comments. One comment was constantly being popped up is someone was asking, what is Senator Kamala Harris going to bring to for the black agenda? And it's imperative for me that everyone, first of all, watch the debate. You know how I feel about that. Please watch the debate tonight. But also, let's not force her into the black agenda only thing, because that disappointment once they go into the second term, I called it. Yeah, then people will start doing her like they did the Obamas on the second term. America's leadership cannot be black only, unfortunately. Now, we do hope that Black Lives Matter is a front and center with this administration so that we can clear up some things that have been neglected for 401 years, for sure.
And people, please don't go in with the mindset of, oh, well, she didn't do nothing for us. And this, Honey and I was actually having this conversation, and it was just too funny because we talk about so many people who have problems with Senator Kamala Harris about some of her stands and her views, and we were like, well, she made things harder for criminals. So I don't know about you, but if you don't do the crime, then you don't have to worry about what it is
what's
she put in place.
happening to the people doing the time.
But
hey,
yeah, okay,
that's a T-shirt. If you don't do the crime, then you don't have to worry about what's happening to the people doing the time. No, I'm joking. But yeah, like
so
honestly,
she made it so hard for us to do
as
that.
a criminal,
but
I couldn't even do this because of Kamala Harris.
Right,
okay, well,
right.
you could have not broken the law. Mm-hmm. But now, if you are a person that was framed, I will say this: that if you were framed by the system, then we stand 100% behind your innocence. But I'm talking about the people that everybody know. Pookie and the family, he breaking the law, Mm-hmm. So come on now, how easy do you want it to be for Pookie when he didn't took 10 lives? Not real talk, reborn. You know what I'm saying? So I get where you guys are coming from, but let's give her a chance. Everybody makes mistakes. She has a tremendous amount of expertise in the legal field, and it is the laws and the legislation that will change things. After 401 years of lack of respect for Black America, you need someone that knows how to get in and make the laws and legislation happen. And Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Joe Biden have been in this Congress for many, many years, making things happen, working with some of the greats like Senator Cory Booker, etc. So Auntie Maxine, and the list goes on and on. They've stood under and around Nancy Pelosi, so they know what they're doing.
Of course.
Let's definitely give this team a chance. Aside from, the morbidly obese leader in chief, what did he have? Hollywood?
We need to get the dump truck administration out of the White House. And I say that not so loosely, because the reason why I call it that is because
I like it.
That administration has literally dumped on
America.
On America, period. But mostly us.
But really came for us.
I mean, truthfully, if you really look at it, I mean, we have been in the struggle for so long, and nobody cares about us. We have our champions who are out there doing things, but aside from our champions saying what they need to say, the platforms are just shrinking when it comes to us, and we really just need people to exercise their right to vote, to get the right people in office to do things the way we need them to be done.
So we can't stress that enough, that make sure your voter registration is up to date. For many of you, that expiration date passed on October 5th, Texas and a host of other cities. But for everyone else, you still have time. So check and make sure that you are active, that your ID is up to date, that you have everything that you need to get your booty to the polls. Is that how they said it? Get your booty to the polls.
We always talk about change. We always talk about change, but change won't happen if you're that person sitting back going, well, I don't like neither one of them. I don't give a damn. I ain't going to vote. And blah, 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 blah. And you know what happens? When the person you don't want in office ends up in office, all you can do is complain about how things are still not changing. Exactly. However, if you sit back and think about it, because you didn't vote for the person you wanted to vote for, of course, your vote didn't count. Your vote, in your opinion, didn't matter. However, the people who wanted that person, who was opposed to everything you stood for because they wanted them in office, they voted. Yeah. Their vote counted.
And that's the thing, like, even if you don't, here's the thing, I need you to vote for us to live, right? So in Black America,
vote for us to
for live. Us, it's so important. And in the Latino community, you guys have powerful numbers. You have millions, I think it's 200 million, if I have that correct, registered voters, and that number doesn't always show up to the polls. Black America, we have similar numbers, so it is imperative that even if you disagree, that you at least get out there and vote. And then after that, then get in the conversation, because you did your due diligence, you did your part. So get your booty to the polls is definitely... that is the 2020 message, okay?
Absolutely.
So popularity above all is the number that I'm trying to see. We understand that the Electoral College may do their business, but I want to see what the popularity numbers look like, because I know he's not the favorite orange in the fruit basket at all. So...
get it. Let's get it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's just be about your business and get your... If you're unable to vote due to the restrictions related to crime, when it comes to felonies and things that we as a people are trying to make sure that is removed, and that felons can get an opportunity to vote after they've done the time, we should not be punishing them even more by silencing their voice. So until that moment changes, until we can get your vote, felons, get out there and volunteer and make people in your community, get the young people that can vote on board.
Absolutely.
You're doing your part. You can't go vote because they're stopping you, but you can go tell someone to vote.
And then during your time, you sat back and did a lot of reading. That shows that you have the patience to read a book. Pick up a law book. Figure out what would make things beneficial to help you get your voters' rights
and
back.
Go to Congress.
Get
to Congress and go down there and really get your voice heard for other felons that want to be able to vote.
See, that all comes back to full circle
of
people getting the people in office that we need to work for us.
Vote, people.
Vote.
And I guess I wanted to talk about, I'm going to hit you up with some questions that I have. I want to get your reaction to superhero world. The Boys is what I want to talk about, because it's so extremely dark and good. It's so juicy. It's like watching Lucifer. It's so dark, it's good. So I want to talk to you about that. But first I want to say, make sure you guys are drinking your tea. Make sure you're drinking your spring water. Make sure your spring water is at a 9.5 pH bound, isn't that it? pH? So that, alkaline, right? So that you are cleansing out the things that tend to get in our body every day. Toxins that get in our body that come in. Y'all complaining about the mask, and I'm happy that we're covering our mouth and our nose. Can we get, I have something for my ears, but... AirPods in the ears, sunglasses over the eyes, mask over the nose and mouth. Those toxins from this dirty climate are not getting in my body. So I'm happy about the mask because even though it's protecting against the virus, it's protecting against this climate that's being neglected tremendously. So,
and also, right before we jump into the boys, I also want to let you guys know that I'm going to be soon coming out with some list on some African American heroes in our mythos. That we all know about the Black Panther and Storm, and some of us may even know about Luke Cage. But I'm also going to bring in some heroes that we have that are just as powerful as these people. In some cases, in some circles, depending on if you're a nerd or a blerd. In my case, I am a blerd, but these are characters.
That's a black nerd for you.
Exactly.
Guys. Yeah,
and and so we're gonna spotlight some of these characters, man, because there are some great books and some great stories on some African American heroes, some new and some old, that we also need to talk about.
It's important to say that for superheroes, and I just say that from a military and law enforcement perspective, that we do have our own heroes.
Absolutely.
In the military and law enforcement world as well. But superheroes, African American superheroes, I'm glad you're doing that.
And also in that list, I'm gonna be always, this is me. I'm always a fan of the underdog because I love the villain. I'm also showcase a lot more of our African American villains too. Cause see, out here in these streets, you always hear the gang banging and the people talking smack about how all the black people doing this, that, and the other, and it is not always us. However, we have our Lex Luthors, we have our, Zods, we have our, all of these villains who are so super smart
and celebrated.
But we got a couple of
way.
our, what? I ain't even lie. A lot of people didn't know this, but Black Manta, Aquaman's villain, was one of my favorite African American villains because he was one of us. He was ruthless. But we're going to talk about
you guys,
the boys.
Real
We'll
Talk
about the
Reborn
boys.
is going to be bringing you guys some really history on the black superhero land that is really overlooked often. We all know that white supremacy definitely shows up when it comes to Comic-Con world. And so it definitely white supremacy shows up when they cast a black man for a character that white people felt like that should never be a black person. So racism shows up even in comic books, right? In the comic book world. So he's definitely going to highlight the better part. He's going to silence that conversation by highlighting the black superheroes that our young youth, they need to see that. That shouldn't be a conversation in 10 more years if people have knowledge of what's out there. So I'm loving it. And even though he's not a superhero, I love Honey, but even though he's not a superhero, Mother's Milk, and God, thank you, Jesus, for Laz.
Milk is my man.
But I love my man. But thank you, God, for Laz Alonso, and amen. And Mother's Milk, he should be a superhero. And I love my man. I love you, Honey. But Laz, let's thank the gods.
Back to the show.
No, but honestly, I love the boys. I actually got in because I was hoping he's going to be a superhero, but I haven't seen any powers. What does he do? I mean, I know he does a lot, but I'm not seeing any powers yet.
Because we're
talking about the boys, you guys.
Watching the episodes and everything. So we're gonna see what he does. But as far as the character himself, I really do like him. And he's expressed a lot. A lot of people always look at the black man as this big black menacing character, and I kind of see a little bit. I'm not trying to say that's me, whatever. But I'm just going to be honest
honestly,
and say,
I think that's why I'm attracted to you guys, because you remind me of my man.
But when I come into certain areas and certain circles, I get that mixed expression depending on the person, because even you'd be like, oh, he's an athlete, or you're a big guy. Rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, everybody always
for the most part,
player.
When it comes to the evening times and going around, I also see those same types of people, locking doors, clutching purses, making sure that, and that outer appearances, we're big and we're menacing or whatever, but then to sit and have a conversation is like, oh my God, this person is actually intelligent. This person actually has
compassion.
And we're not all these monsters looking to rob you or take your women. We are human beings just like you. We have intellect just like you. We have conversation just like you. We cross our T's and dot our I's just like you.
And can I say that, you guys, you're not going to understand what he's talking about until you go over. We're not, being sponsored by the show at all. Absolutely but not. I just really want to really support our black actors that have been doing it for so long and always sit on a back seat. And he's really amazing. So I want you guys to go watch The Boys on Amazon. Yeah, is it on Amazon Video?
Amazon Video.
Yeah,
yes,
okay. So go watch The Boys. Because I like what you're saying about Laz Alonso. My favorite part is how he's really about his daughter, and he's been pulled away from his daughter and wife. And so this whole time while on this kick-ass, hard-ass boy mission where they are just having to fight for their lives, he's been putting that little dollhouse together. Like that dollhouse moment of him just being so big and burly, leaning over with pinching his little fingers, gluing the dollhouse together for the baby. Oh, God, that's so black man greatness. Yeah. So shout out to the boys for making those moments happen. For sure. So I like him for you. You also remind me of the character Black Lightning.
Like Black
Lightning. You have
Jefferson
his demeanor. Jefferson. Yeah, Jefferson. Oh
yes,
my gosh, I love
it.
So you guys got to get into the black side of the superhero world.
We really do,
yes.
And then there's so many. It's so many.
Even in The Flash, you got Iris Baker. I'm sorry, Iris Baker. We were just saying her name earlier on Rolling Out. But you have Iris West.
Yeah.
And you also have...
I think what was so cool about Iris was
Joe.
in the comic books, Iris and Joe were Caucasian. But when the CW did the show and they made them African American, I thought that was epic,
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous because, don't get me wrong, I love Michael Clark Duncan in the Daredevil movie. And again, that was when they did another cultural switch where they changed the kingpin from a Caucasian man to him.
Right.
And I don't know if it was the acting of Daredevil or maybe it was just the writers or whatever, but the movie was, God forgive me, Ben, because you did redeem yourself in Batman, but the movie was god awful, and it just kind of, it just made me nervous. But when they did Joe West and Iris West as African Americans, and they, you know, they made interracial love big, I was like, man, I was rooting for that. And you know what?
And I'm a fan.
Awesome.
I'm a fan of the Flash, and I love it. But you know, the problem, me being a Flash watcher with Honey, it's hard for me to pull away from my Hollywood tea. You know, I give him the hardest time because
here she go.
Oh my God,
Here
let me tell you, this man right here, he just be crushing on Iris. He crushed on Iris worse than the Flash do. You know, so he loves Iris more than Barry do. Barry, I'm here to let you. Oh, he does love Cecile. But he loves Iris also. But this thing is, you know, in real life, you know, the actress, you know, she's snatching people, man, you know. So the way that I feel about things when it comes to watching Iris, it's hard for me to not comment about her being a husband snatcher while we're watching The Flash. So do your history, people. You can find your way into this love of the blurred. That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I just made another t-shirt.
Blerd.
Love of the blurred.
That's right.
Love of the hottest blurred.
Also, Marvel, not trying to drop no shade. I do greatly appreciate the fact Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse introducing our man Miles Morales, the first African-American / Puerto Rican Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. However, y'all owe us a live-action movie. Don't get me wrong. The movie was dope. But for introducing our African-American / Puerto Rican Spider-Man, y'all need to give us a live-action movie. Donald Glover, 2022.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to talk to you guys for the few moments. Past that, he's going to bring you guys some more on the superheroes. But before we have to close out here, I wanted you guys to know that we understand that people are going through during this pandemic, and it's been taxing and trying on many households, and that we are compassionate behind the efforts to make sure that everyone is aware of everything that they need to do. So to make income until life goes back to some sense of never really going to be normal again, right? So get into the gig economy. I cannot say that enough. Get into the gig economy. If you have insurance, if you have your driver's license, if you have a vehicle, get into the gig economy. You know, humble yourself to it, because it can bring that extra $100 to $300 a day that you were unable to come up with. So I highly encourage you guys, get busy. It's a volatile financial economic market right now due to the idiot in charge, and you can overcome that. Be your own boss. Jump up, record your mileage. Everlance app is a good app for recording your mileage. Make a plan for your gas. Make sure you have a full tank when you get started. Make sure you use your gloves. Make sure you have your hand sanitizer. Use your customer service skills. I'm going to come back on here, Real Talk Reborn, if you guys will have me, and have a conversation with you guys about the need for an immaculate customer service in the gig economy business, and patience. Because I always say over there on the Mz DeeVa platform, exercise patience. So I don't have anything else for today. I can't wait for VP debate tonight. Oh, all team Biden Harris 2020. So I can't wait for this to happen, to see these two lay out their policies and what they're going to do back and forth, and have a much more mature conversation that we were unable to get with the presidential debate. So
I think it's comforting to say that in this debate, I think that we would actually have a more adult conversation.
I think so. She's so amazing.
Yeah. And then Pence can talk. I'll say that.
He'll just talk, and he's going to be nasty. He's going to bring the negative, the nasty, and
that's fine.
She's going to overcome it. Yeah, she's going to be ready for you. She's got her rebuttals. Definitely her. Hey, that's Barack Obama tweeting out. So, but yes, she definitely got her rebuttals ready. She's going to be ready for you.
But it would still be a more structured conversation than our vice president having a conversation with a 2-year-old. So.
And let's just say to new life, can we say congratulations to Nicki Minaj for having her new baby is here.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
And Kevin Hart, they have their new baby here and dropping just 30 minutes ago. Guess who's pregnant, people? Guess who's pregnant, people? I need a soldier.
Here we go.
Or my favorite song actually is her with Nelly, Dilemma. But congratulations, Kelly Rowland. So Kelly Rowland, Destiny Child prior artist and artist in her own right, has another pregnancy. So yay, congratulations to Kelly Rowland.
Congratulations, Miss Rowland.
That's about all that I have. I think we were throwing a lot at you guys real quick. But, it's gig economy Wednesday, and we run a business, so we have to get, we're up early every morning, and we have a schedule that we have to keep. So, Real Talk Reborn. I'm excited.
For,
on the journey to 10,000 downloads on the platform. I beg of you guys to listen, not only here to Real Talk Reborn, Lyrics Breakdown now has its own show. So definitely, wherever you listen to your podcast, please check out my hashtag Lyrics Breakdown, my hashtag Mz DeeVa. Here with Brent Reborn.
That's right.
Real Talk Reborn.
Find
and
us on Twitter.
When you want to
talk
relationships and get into our business, every once in a while we drop you guys some B&D tea on Honey and I.
Oh, yeah.
So Honey and I has its own show also. But thank you guys for getting us almost to the 10,000 mark.
We greatly appreciate the guys. Keep on listening. Share. We're going to be out there. We're going to be everywhere. And we just want you guys to know
we need your support.
Yeah, we need your support. And
a listen, it's free.
Yeah. It's not going to
And then buy a tea. Oh, a listen and it's free. And then buy a tea.
Her rap career is not going to take off.
If you listen and it's free, and then you can purchase that tea. Again, listen, and it's free.
I'm so sorry y'all had to go through that. It's okay, though.
I missed my calling as a rapper. I knew I was supposed to be a rapper. I almost felt it, but...
Maybe so. I don't know. Who knows?
Real Talk Reborn.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. We greatly appreciate that.
We're out.
Have a good one.